Hello, and welcome back to me. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Jonathan Downham. I'm an advanced critical care practitioner in Warwick in the UK, in the Midlands, and I'm just creating a series of videos called the COVID Chronicles, as you saw from the previous screen. Really just trying to highlight resources that I'm coming across, mainly on Twitter. They are in other places as well, but they are mainly on Twitter. Just checking my sound is working okay, which it does seem to be. I've just finished 2 night shifts. Now, unfortunately, I made the dreaded mistake of a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, perhaps inferring that the tidal wave seemed to be over, but it doesn't at the minute. My last 2 nights we worked incredibly hard. We've got lots of patients in the unit now. We've got 6 patients in a 4-bedded unit, for example. The nurses are working really hard. The ITU nurses are working hard, but also those people who've never worked in ITU before. I just want to give them a massive shout out because they deserve it. There's theatre nurses, there's daycare nurses, there's all kinds of nurses in there who are not very familiar with ITU and are working really hard to help us out. So big shout out to them. Thank you so much for your help. Really important. So what have I found? What have I found on the updates? Let me just get the right screen for you here. Want this one. So just transitioned. Make sure you can see what I'm seeing, because I do make mistakes many times and I've had to re-record things many times. I haven't actually gone live, have I? So I need to start again. Hello, welcome back. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jonathan Downham. I'm an advanced critical care practitioner at Heartlands Hospital, which is in Birmingham in the UK in the Midlands. We are going through the COVID crisis like many of you around the world. And I've just been producing a series called the COVID Chronicles, which is really just me highlighting resources that I found out there on social media. It's mainly on Twitter, to be fair. For those of you that don't use Twitter, you should. It is full of a lot of rubbish, like a lot of social media, but if you use it well, it can be a fabulous resource for finding things that others have shared and for sharing things yourself as well. So if you want to go to Twitter and sign up, then I strongly recommend you do. If you already got an account, go and use it. Go and find things to follow rather than people to follow. So hashtag something, so hashtag COVID-19 or hashtag sepsis. That will find you all those things that have been tweeted using that hashtag, and then go follow those people, because they might be the people who are going to give you a lot of resources. So just want a big shout out to all the nurses in intensive care. I've just come off 2 night shifts. I've never worked so hard. It is really hard work at the moment. I want to give a big shout out to the ITU nurses and to those nurses who don't work in ITU normally. They've come in. It's not an area they're familiar with. It's not an area they're comfortable with. Massive shout out to those guys. I know it's the ICU nurses who get in a lot of the praise on the social media, but it's on the media, but it's not just them. It's everybody else, and it's everybody in the hospital, from the porters to the cleaners to everybody. They're all absolutely fabulous, and they deserve as much praise as anybody. Right, so without further ado, let's go and talk about some of the resources that I found this time. So if I just share my page. Right, so this is my Twitter page, and these are the ones that I've liked recently. So I'll just take them in order. The first one I came across was by David Linus. David Linus produces a lot of really useful resources. If you go to his website, propathology.com, he's got a lot of teaching on there anyway, even pre-COVID crisis. So it's well worth a visit. David is a doctor in Northern Ireland. I've worked with him on a lot of conferences, etc., around Europe. But he's highlighted some of the pressure relief issues we may get with the proning patients. Now, the National Pressure Injury Advisory Panel, that's it, the NPIAP, have released some advisory documents which, if you follow the link on this tweet, and I have retweeted it, so if you go find that, it will take you through to here. And they are just giving away online posters. So, there's no price, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that on your screens, but there's no price. Pressure injury prevention, PIP tips for prone positioning, and I think that's more. I think there's several different ones on there for you to access, and they're all for free. So I'm presuming if you sign in, give them your details, they're either going to email it to you or post it to you. I would imagine they'll email it to you. There will be a link you can click on where you can download it, I would have thought. But that looked like a really valuable resource. We are proning a lot of our patients. We are unproning a lot of our patients. And the physical labour just involved in that is really hard work. And I think that's what's exhausting a lot of people, as well as just the regular turning. We're still turning our patients side to side as well. We need to do that every 4 hours or so. The prone patient needs their head turned every few hours. So it's all a lot of physical labour. And we're working as a team, doctors, nurses, everybody getting involved to make this happen. So that's the first one that I found. The next one coming down was this one here by ATS Scholars. So at ATS Scholar is their Twitter handle. And they've produced a video talking about ventilator modes and breath types. And if I can just find it, if you follow the link, this is where it takes you to. So if I'll just play this, I'll mute it as well. So this is where it takes you to. So it's kind of a chalk and talk. Is it playing? Looks like it. It's kind of a chalk and talk. Let's move it forward because that's a bit dull, isn't it? Hang on. Okay, let it play. Chalk and talk on, it's entitled Ventilators for Non-Intensivists, Basic Modes and Breath Types. I've watched it myself. It's excellent. It is basic, but that's great because there's a lot of non-intensivists out there who need the basics. There's a lot of ITU nurses who could benefit, myself included, from being refreshed as to some of the basics of ventilation. So that's another great resource that I spotted. So if you follow the link, and all the links are in this post, so if you can't remember where I'm sending you to, just click on the links below and they will take you there. And then the final one I found is something called the COVID-19 ICU Remote Learning Course. Now, I'd not heard of this, so I'm glad I found it. And eventually it takes you to this link here, which is this one here. And again, I've put the link down below, so you don't need to go searching for this yourself. Just click on the link. And these are Eventbrite courses, and I presume they're remote learning courses, and it is specifically the NHS workforces. Now, I haven't clicked the link to find select a date. It's free, but you do need an NHS email. So if you haven't got an NHS email account, then you're not going to get on this. So don't even bother. If you've got one, or if you need to get one because you work in the NHS, then go get one. And just to tell you what it kind of covers, so the target audience is non-ICU staff supporting ICU nursing. Fabulous people, non-ICU staff supporting ICU doctors, and those supporting ICU physios as well. And the structure, you will join the critical care journey of a patient with COVID-19, and it'll take you through 5 essential topics for the care of this patient. So you're going to be looking at ICU monitoring and interpretation, ventilation, ARDS management, vasoactive and sedative drugs, physiotherapy assessment of ICU patients, and good ICU care, and optional lecture on NIV and high-flow nasal oxygen. I know high-flow nasal oxygen is a bit controversial at the moment. There's a bit of anecdotal evidence out there that if you get them on high-flow nasal oxygen early, then it seems to reduce their chances of actually coming to ITU. Anecdotal. I say that. I reinforce that because that's anecdotal. I've seen evidence here, there, and everywhere of people saying things like that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, so that's the Twitter evidence that I've come across so far. Like I say, if you don't use Twitter, Go and try and use it. Fabulous resource. You can follow me if you like. I'm at Critical Care. At CC. I can't even remember my own name. At CC Practitioner. Go and follow me. I do try and retweet stuff as much as I can. You'll see a lot of the people that I follow as well, so go and follow them as well. So Twitter is a great resource, full of rubbish, like I say. Anyway, that's me done for now. Stay safe. Take care. I'm off today and tomorrow, and then I've got to run 3 days, so I'll try and get something out tomorrow. If not, it's probably going to be the middle of next week. I hope you're all well, and keep trugging on. Okay, bye-bye.